I'm here with GOP U.S. Congressional candidate Quinn. She's running against Democratic incumbent Kathy Castor for the 14th Congressional District of Florida. This is an important congressional seat for the state of Florida, as is the election itself in its entirety. It has got to be a top priority for conservative voters, or any voter who values the foundation of America, to retain a majority in both the House and the Senate. The reason is twofold. One, if Trump wins the presidency, this will help support and assist him with untangling the wreck which the Obama administration has placed our nation within. Or two, if Clinton wins the presidency, this will keep her somewhat in check from furthering the calculated decimation of the foundation to which our great nation is built upon. The District 14 candidates couldn't be any further apart in their platforms. While Castor supports normalization of Cuba, Quinn supports the large Cuban constituency in the district, fighting against normalization. Also, Castor is lockstep with the Obama administration in supporting more taxes and regulations on small business. Quinn understands business, being a longtime business owner in the district for which she is running for, and knows that more forced bureaucracy will only hurt businesses and employment. This interview is to introduce the candidate Quinn to those of you who don't know her yet, or do know her and will hopefully learn something new that you didn't already know. Also, to allow her to share the responsibilities of the seat for which she is running and her platform for what she would like to accomplish and her plans for how she is going to meet those goals. The first question I want to ask, have you been a lifelong conservative and/or were you raised in a conservative house growing up?
I have been a lifelong conservative, and I was raised in a very conservative household. My mom and dad were both politically active and always really talked to us about government, talked to us about politics, and of course, with JFK, I was 2 years old when he was assassinated, and that was always a big topic in our household, and for years, actually. So, we are definitely conservative Republicans. My parents have always been against progressive education, and so they've kind of, over the years, really instilled some solid core values in us and about our government.
For the people who are just becoming familiar with you, is this the first public office or public position that you've run for, and what made you decide to run for public office?
Well, it is the first time I've run for an office. I always say I'm a businesswoman, not a politician, but I understand government quite well. And the reason I decided to run is because I'm tired of the liberal Democrats constantly saying, we're going to go after those big bad corporations, and we got to make them pay their fair share, and we got to go after the electric company. And as a business owner of a manufacturing company, when they go after those big, huge corporations like that, it trickles down to everybody, including the supplier. And as a manufacturer, I'm a supplier. And of course, we all want to be in compliance, and we all want for the good of our health and benefits for everybody that we are in compliance. But you can't just keep over-regulating corporations. And I guarantee you, those big bad corporations they refer to are paying their fair share, and they also pay a lot of employees. So when they see them saying, oh, they make billions of dollars, but they also have billions of dollars in expense, they took the risk. And, those electric companies, when we have big hurricanes that come through here and blow down all of our electrical lines, boy, we sure like it when trucks show up so that we can flip the switch and have electricity. So I think that they use that kind of as propaganda. People buy into it. And I'm here to tell you that it's not exactly what you think. There's a lot more to that picture. And they create jobs.
Absolutely.
They create those jobs. And we need those jobs. And those electric companies pay good salaries. And those are our brothers and our sisters and our mothers and our fathers, our aunts, our uncles, cousins that work there. So when those governments want to go after, they're going after us. They're going after people. Because those companies don't run themselves; they're run by people.
Exactly. Yeah, I find it funny that the liberal propaganda machine attacks these corporations, but then on the second hand, they're talking about how they want to build jobs. It's like, how can you build jobs when you're trying to tear down the large companies that provide jobs,
That's right. And then it affects everybody down the totem pole, and I'm on the bottom as a supplier. And when they are in compliance, then I have to be in compliance. And some of those things just simply do not apply to me. For example, I don't use water in processing. I have a seasoning company. It's a dry rub. We do not use water. Yet I have to be regulated by water, and I find it almost a little bit laughable that they want me to test my water constantly to make sure it's drinkable.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the deal. That water comes from the city or the county. It better be drinkable because I'm getting it from you. So I just find it kind of amusing, except for it does cost me a lot of money. Every time I have to do those tests, it's $150 here, $300 there. These compliance audits that we have to go through, they're
Right.
actually $1,500 a piece. You do 10 of those a year, that's somebody's salary.
Absolutely. Now, are these EPA?
Yep, a lot of them are regulated by the EPA
Mm-hmm.
and also by the we're Food and Drug Administration, so the FDA.
Right.
And the FDAs aren't quite as stringent, but they are starting to get more frequent. And of course, there are companies that do need to follow more stringent guidelines if they're sending out pollutants that are going to go into our water. We don't want that. But when they're coming down to the small manufacturers like myself, that it doesn't apply, we should be able to have some exemptions. And so when I called up to Kathy Castor's office and I don't get a response, and I go up to Washington, D.C. and went into her office, and she went and see me, and I made myself available anytime she could have been available. I don't care if I'm a Republican or Democrat. She's still my representative. But she has a dim us, Republicans, Democrats, so she is not for our community as a whole, and 50% of us are Republicans and 50% of us are Democrats.
Right.
We're all living in this community together, and I, as your representative, will service everybody. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. I'm going to be here to be a voice for the voiceless, but to really represent my community as a whole.
Just to add to that, I have a friend of mine who he's a Democrat, and he actually tried to get a meeting with Kathy Castor at her office, and he couldn't get one either. So it's with, obviously she has a track record of kind of being an absentee representative.
Today at lunch, a gal was telling me her son is extremely dyslexic. She wanted to see what help she could get for him. She wasn't getting anywhere in the school district. And so she just reached out to her representatives, and she, is a big proponent of education. So 9 months later, she showed me the letter, 9 months later, and the first paragraph says, this has been automatically transmitted. So it was an automatic